This is the team here. We've got Kay.
Hi.
We've got my son Arun. And listen, we're just walking into Soon to sort some birthday presents and party stuff for my son, because he's 1 year old on Thursday. When people see a plan like mine, they think it starts with flights, gear and big announcements. But this starts somewhere quieter. It starts with a feeling that never really went away, a pull toward the road, a need for movement. Not the kind that comes from restlessness, but the kind that comes from knowing exactly who you are when life gets simple again. This week was a week one of a 100-day sprint, a countdown to something I've committed to with everything in me. In 100 days, we leave Cambodia and begin a long coastal walk around Bali, Penida Island and Lombok. A few thousand kilometres on foot, a family mission, a nomadic chapter. And I want to be clear about something from the start. This isn't a holiday. This isn't a highlight reel. This is a decision. A decision to choose the hard path on purpose, because it gives you something comfort never will. It gives you truth. This week we didn't cross oceans. We didn't buy expensive gear. We didn't do anything that looks impressive on paper. But we did something more important. We started. We stepped into the identity of who we're going to be for the next 6 months. And you can feel it in the small moments. The way a road feels different when you're walking on it, not driving it. The noise of a market waking up. The smell of street food and smoke. The simple reality of everyday Cambodia moving around you. This week was a reminder of why I'm doing this. Not just for the walk, not just for the challenge, but for my son. Because he just turned 1 year old. And I keep looking at him and thinking how fast life moves. How quickly time slips through your fingers when you're busy building a life and paying bills and telling yourself you'll do the big things later. Later is a dangerous word. Later is where dreams go to die. I don't want my son to grow up watching his dad talk about adventure. I want him to grow up watching his dad live it, and living it right alongside me. So people hear of Romany gypsies and they always think of the stereotype. But listen, forget that. For me, it's simple. I grew up with a kind of freedom that modern life doesn't understand. Roadside living, moving, a family unit that had to be tight because the world outside it wasn't always kind. It taught me early that you can survive with less, that you don't need much to be happy, that you don't wait for permission. And maybe that's why I've always been drawn back to this, because no matter how far you get from the road, it stays in you. It calls you back, trust me. This week we went out and lived that in small pieces. We walked through Sung Town, we walked through the market, and if you've never walked through a Cambodian market properly, you don't understand how alive it feels. It's loud, it's real, it's chaotic, it's honest. People working, people selling, people laughing. Everything is happening at once. And I looked at that and thought, this is exactly the kind of world I want my son to be comfortable in. Not sheltered from life, but grounded in it. We visited temples this week too, and I'll be honest, those moments matter to me, not because they look good on camera, but because they reset your head. They remind you that the world is bigger than your stress and your schedule, that there's something timeless about simple faith, quiet discipline and being present. And this is where Keke comes in. Keke is Khmer, and she grew up with the kind of knowledge that modern life in the West has almost forgotten. She understands the old ways. How to make do, how to feed a family simply, how to read people and places, how to stay safe without panicking. She's not stepping into this blind. In many ways, she's already built for it. And I know having her beside me changes everything. Because this isn't me dragging my family into some mad idea. This is us moving together. With her strength, her calm, her instincts. This week, we also captured something I loved. A wedding on the street, just real community life. People celebrating where they are with what they have. That's something the modern world is losing, trust me. That sense that joy doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be shared. And as much as this week was full of beauty, it also came with reality. We took a trip to Phnom Penh to start out Arun's passport and we hit our first setback. We couldn't get it done. We needed proof of address. So we had to turn around and go back to the province. That could have felt like a failure, sure. But I didn't see it that way. I saw it that it was the exact reason we started early. This is what preparation actually looks like. Not motivation, not hype, but hiccups, paperwork, things going wrong, and choosing to keep moving forward anyway. Because this entire expedition will be built on the exact mindset. You don't quit because something is inconvenient, you adapt. Then we had a big walking milestone. I did my first 20k training walk in under 4 hours. That's the kind of distance I want to aim for, at least at the start anyways. Repeatable, sustainable, not trying to be a hero, but I'm not going to pretend it was easy. The last half an hour I felt dizzy from the heat. I did that on purpose. I went out at the hottest part of the day because Bali, Penida Island and Lombok will test me. Not just physically, but mentally. With heat, hydration, pacing, recovery, and some days I might be walking with a heavy pack, 20 kilos or more, when I can't get my gear sent ahead. So I'm learning now what my body does and what I need to respect. And the part that hit me most wasn't the struggle, it was the kindness. A Muslim woman gave me free water. So that was literally for free. No cameras in her face, no speech, that was just a simple act of kindness. And that is exactly what I mean when I say the road gives you something comfort never will. The road reminds you that the world is full of good people. If you move through the world with respect, you'll meet them. This week had street food, waterfalls, markets, countryside, celebrations. But if I'm honest, it wasn't about any of those things. It was about alignment. It was about reminding myself that I'm not chasing a random idea. I'm choosing a life, one that my son can grow up inside of. One that teaches him resilience, humility, gratitude. One that shows him that you can be tired and still be kind. You can be uncomfortable and still keep going. You can dream and also build. Because this is the truth. I don't want to raise a son who thinks life is about being entertained. I want to raise a son who understands purpose, who knows that meaning is found in effort, in family, in doing the hard thing with love. So this is week 1. And if it's already taught me anything, it's this. The journey is not waiting for us in Bali. The journey is already happening right now. In the early mornings, in the paperwork, in the training walks, in the setbacks, in the small moments that nobody else sees. This is us. This is Dan Walks. And if you're watching this, just know something. You don't need permission to change your life. You don't need the perfect moment. You need a simple decision. And then you need to move and start putting one foot in front of the other. We're 93 days out now and we're just getting started. Stay blessed, folks. Have a blessed day.